If you frequent amusement parks and you don't have these 5 apps on your phone, then you're not even amusement parking correctly, right?
Right.
So in this video, we're going to give you each and every one of those apps that you need and why you need them. So before we get into this video, we'd like to say thank you for coming and joining us. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. Go down below, give this video a thumbs up, comment because those things help against the YouTube algorithm. And also a huge shout out to all our channel members, including a couple new ones that just came on. So this list keeps growing and growing. So thank you so much to all of you. If you want to find out what they're finding out, all the exclusive content and shout outs, then go down into the description and there's a link to our channel membership and find out all that there is that you get from it. So anyway, let's get into this video. 5 apps, well, we're kind of cheating because there's 4 apps and one of them's like a website that you can just get on your phone. So whatever, we couldn't find 5 apps, so we're going to cheat just a little bit. So getting into this, first and foremost, you need the app to the park that you are visiting. Pretty much every major amusement park has their own app that is filled with the hours, and they'll have the park maps.
Yeah, they'll have wait times and they'll have information about, the rides and restaurants and, all that stuff, and a lot of information about that. So, like you said, most major parks do have an app that you can download.
And next up on the list is the one that's not actually an app. I wish that they would do an app, maybe in the future. But it's called Coast to Coaster. And this is a map of the entire world. And it has, I think, every single roller coaster on the planet on this thing. So if you're taking a park trip or anything like that, and you're driving from point A to point B, and you want to see, are there any roller coasters along the way? And then you want to grab an extra 1 or 2 credits. This is the website that you need to go to, Coast to Coaster. And you've looked through it a couple times, right?
Yeah. So it just shows you every place that has a roller coaster and has like the amount of coasters that they have, and they can click on and see every single one. It is really cool just looking at how many there are around the world, and it just really helps, if you're going from 2 different places, you can look on that and say, oh, look, I'm going to be going by another amusement park or one place with, a few roller coasters, so you can rack up the credits like you said.
And speaking of credits, you need to count those credits somehow. And so that means that you need to download LogRide. LogRide is an app that has pretty much every single place that has a roller coaster on it. And you can search for it. Each specific park, like say you're looking for a big park like Cedar Point. Search for Cedar Point and it'll have every single ride. And then whenever you ride a roller coaster, just click on that roller coaster and it'll keep track of all your credits. It'll keep track of your unique amusement parks that you've been to.
Yeah, it'll keep track. You can add on every single flat ride that you've done. You can add water rides. You can add shows and midways and stuff. You can add so many different things on there, and it is really cool, and it's a fun thing to do. If you are kind of bored, and you can just go through all the amusement parks that you've been through and just add all the rides. I've done that before, and it's fun, and it shows you some cool stats that you can look at, and it's just a really good way of keeping track of how many coasters and rides and amusement parks you've been to.
And that app is completely free, but they do have a paid version. The one we use is actually the free version, and it does everything that we could possibly need. But if you want to get a little extra nerdy with some extra stats and stuff like that, then they do have a paid version. So definitely check that out and support that app. And next we have an app that I recently downloaded that has nothing to do with amusement parks specifically. But if you frequent them, then you definitely take a lot of steps. And why take those steps for free when you can get paid for them? That's right. I'm talking about Wei Wards. In this app, you laugh at that name. It's a funny sounding name, but this app, you go on and it links up to your health tracker, anything that counts your steps on your phone. And it counts all your steps for the day. And then you click on a button and you convert your steps and it gives you coins. And once you reach a certain amount of coins, you can turn those in for gift cards for like Target and Walmart, all sorts of places. Or you can get actual cash to your PayPal or Venmo account. So why not take advantage of that? If you're doing all that walking, why not take advantage of that and get paid to walk around these parks? Last but certainly not least is QTimes. Now, this just recently got turned into an actual app. Used to be just a regular website like what we said Coast to Coaster is, but now it's an actual app. So if you're ever thinking about planning out your trip to a park or something, or multiple parks, and you're wondering, okay, what kind of wait times do they get? And a lot of times, like you mentioned on apps for each specific park, that they have their own wait times. Mm-hmm. But you usually have to be in the park for those, right?
Yeah, you have to be in the park to see the queue times on the apps. So what they do with queue times, you can look at wait times for parks all over the world, and it doesn't matter where you're at. So, and it's like pretty accurate, we found. Like, we've looked at queue times when we're at the parks, and it's usually pretty accurate to what they actually are, and it's
as accurate as any of them are.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, you will have some discrepancies, but it is definitely pretty good.
It is pretty good, yeah. And you have different categories, and you could search by different park chains. So you can look at Six Flags or Merlin or whatever, and then it has parks all over the world. You click on it, and it also has not only does it have the queue times, but it also has crowd calendars.
Yeah, and that's been very useful for us.
It has. So it'll basically just have a calendar, and it would say day by day, typically how busy it is. So it'll say, I don't remember what the terms they use are, but it'll just say light crowds or extremely busy.
They have like different colors. Like green is really good.
Yeah.
Then it gets up into orange and red.
Yeah.
And we found that is fairly accurate as well. We've gone to some parks where it says that's going to be dead, and it actually was dead that day.
Yeah. So.
And it can fluctuate. But
yeah, and of course it's not going to be completely accurate, obviously, but we found it to be pretty helpful. And if you are curious about how busy a park will be, you can look at that and have some sort of good reference for it.
And a lot of times when I'm actually in a park, instead of going to their actual app, because sometimes you have to flick through a lot of stuff, I'll just go straight to QTimes anyway, even if I'm in the park. And sometimes I find that it's easier to search wait times just with QTimes anyway. So anyway, that is it for this video. 5 apps/website that you need if you're going to visit amusement parks a lot. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like we said earlier, give it a thumbs up and comment and all that stuff. And we'll see you guys next time right here on Beach Cliff Studios.